Hey everybody, KC here. So, there's different ways to compete. I think sometimes companies and people think, oh, the main competition is doing it this way. We're going to need to do it that way too, but we just need to do it better. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you can come at a problem, come at a competitive situation, and take a different approach. And that could end up being the one that resonates with your customers. It's interesting, we've over the years, we've had a lot of conversation here about Alexa, right? And Google Assistant, talking about, what are clearly their ambitious plans for that kind of technology. It was interesting, I was reading a piece from the University of Nebraska at Lincoln the other day, in which they were talking about how they decided to do a pilot study among adults 75 or older, and they were living alone in this independent living community. And basically what they did is they gave them all an Amazon Echo, right? And for 8 weeks. And they wanted to find out if, in fact, it could have an impact in terms of having voice interactions on how lonely they were. And the fact of the matter is, in terms of the results that they got, yeah, after 4 weeks, people were actually feeling less lonely. And I know some senior citizens and parents of friends of mine who, their eyesight is impaired, but they have this Alexa powered stuff and they're able to use that to interact with the world in a different way. Very important. And this is a terrific ambition that Amazon has. There was also a story on VoiceBot AI, naturally, that Amazon is basically introducing its Alexa-based technology into public transportation systems. They've been testing it in a couple of markets in New York City, Philadelphia, Boston, Seattle, and as many as 450 different public transportation agencies are going to start using Alexa-based systems in their public transportation so people can sort of interact. Say, hey, I need to get from here to here. They can talk to it instead of having to look on a schedule or go on an app. And it's really kind of interesting. This test was very, very successful. We'll see. I guess there's one way is that people can actually tie their own accounts into these public transportation Alexa-based systems. I'm not sure I'd want to do that, but it's interesting, the idea that their ambitions in terms of making this technology part of our lives that we frankly can't escape from, even if we want to. It's impressive, also a little bit scary. A couple of years ago, I remember doing a piece about Apple's. Basically, they were trying to, they were coming out with their HomePods, and I really wasn't impressed by them. I remember going to an Apple store right after they came out, and quite frankly, the guy I was talking to there, he had no idea why they might be better or as good as an Alexa system or the Google system, and and basically, they just didn't seem to be operating on the same frequency and at the same level as Google and Amazon were. And, that was a little surprising because that's not what Apple ordinarily does. Well, now there's a piece of Fast Company talking about how, in fact, as people begin to get a little bit more worried about the degree to which Amazon and Google may be accessing our lives through the various voice recognition systems that we're all putting into our houses. Many of us are putting into our houses. Basically, Apple's more limited ambitions may actually serve it well. I guess they got rid of the HomePod. I didn't even know that. I pay a lot of attention to Apple. Now they've got the HomePod Mini. And basically it says, while the company's market share is far lower than that of Amazon or Google, its narrow ambitions with HomePod are more in line with the way that people actually use their speakers. They use it to time things and they use it to listen to music. And when I think about it, that's pretty much how I use them too. I can, listen to music, listen to podcasts, things like that. Occasionally I'll ask for the weather. But other than that, that's pretty much in line. So it'll be interesting to see if Apple is actually going to be able to encroach on the competition by coming at it with a more focused, more limited, but more focused approach to what they think this technology should work. Again, they could have gone in the other direction and said, well, we're going to out Amazon. We're going to out Google. But sometimes you just got to be Apple. And that makes a lot of sense. And it's a great lesson for retailers. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.